She collapsed in the rain, right outside the glass doors. Her knees hit the concrete first, then her shoulder, then her cheek. Umbrellas shifted away from her instead of toward her. People stepped around her. A woman in heels paused, then kept walking. Someone laughed nervously. "Is she drunk?" a voice muttered. And Mark Ellison, CEO of Ellison Dynamics, looked down from the steps and frowned. He checked his watch. "Call someone else," he said coldly. "I'm late." The woman reached out weakly, fingers trembling, palms scraping the wet ground. "Please," she whispered. "I just need help." Her voice was barely there, swallowed by the sound of traffic and rain. Mark didn't stop. He adjusted his coat, stepped over her hand, and walked into the building where his board was waiting. He didn't even look back. Not once. Behind him, the woman coughed. Deep, wet, painful. A security guard glanced at her, then at Mark's retreating figure, then pretended not to see. No one knew her name. No one knew she had hours left. And no one knew that Mark had just walked past the only person who could save his company. One decision. One moment. One silent witness. The security cameras. Ellison Dynamics was bleeding. Not slowly. Not quietly. Lawsuits. Debt. A failed merger. An entire floor of offices empty after layoffs. Mark needed a miracle. That morning's board meeting was his last chance. He straightened his tie in the elevator, rehearsing confidence he didn't feel. "We're fine," he told himself. "We always land on our feet." The doors opened to a room full of tense faces. "We need a private investor," a director said. "One person controls the patents we need. The respiratory series." Another added, "Without them, we can't launch the new devices." Mark slammed the table. "Then find them." The director hesitated. "We've been trying. For months. She's been unreachable. Terminally ill." Mark scoffed. "Then she's irrelevant." He said it like a joke. Like sickness made people disposable. Silence followed. No one laughed. Outside, unseen from the boardroom windows, paramedics loaded the collapsed woman into an ambulance. One EMT held an oxygen mask over her face. Voice calm. "Stay with me, ma'am. What's your name?" Her name was Eleanor Cross, and she owned the patents. The same patents Ellison Dynamics was built on. The lifeline he'd just kicked aside on the pavement. Eleanor Cross had once been invisible by choice. She could have been on magazine covers. She chose lab coats over red carpets. A reclusive billionaire. A silent benefactor. The mind behind medical technology Mark's company relied on. Hospitals whispered her name with gratitude. Mark spoke it only in contracts. She believed in one thing: character before contracts. She funded free clinics quietly, reading reports about how many lives her devices had saved. But she also read something else. Articles about executives like Mark cutting corners, preferring profit over people. That morning, she left her doctor's office knowing she wouldn't survive the week. The doctor had spoken gently. "You should rest. Be with family." Instead of returning home, she walked. No driver. No assistant. Just her, a coat in the rain. She wanted to see how people treated a stranger in need. Not on a stage. Not with cameras. In real life, it wasn't an experiment. It was closure. When she collapsed, she didn't expect mercy. She just hoped that somewhere, someone would choose a human being over a schedule. Mark failed. In the final days of her life, the man who owed everything to her work proved exactly why she stayed hidden. 3 days later, Mark sat in his office staring at his phone. Emails piled up. Investors demanded answers. He ignored them, scrolling through financial reports, looking for numbers that didn't exist. The news alert hit, like a gunshot. Billionaire inventor Eleanor Cross dies at 58. His blood ran cold. He had never met her. But Ellison Dynamics was chained to her signature. Another headline followed. Cross Estate freezes all pending licensing deals. Mark's heart pounded. No. He muttered, already dialing. Mark called his legal team. "They'll still negotiate," he said desperately. "Estate, trustees, someone. Money talks." The reply was immediate. No, the lawyer whispered. She left instructions. What instructions? Mark snapped. Personal. Ethical. This isn't just business to her. Mark scrolled. A photo loaded. Not a photo. A still frame. Security footage. Rain. Glass doors. A woman collapsing. And Mark walking away. The exact moment he chose to schedule over her life. Replaying in perfect, brutal clarity. Another angle loaded. The EMTs. The timestamp. The building's logo in the corner. There was no denying it was him. The board convened in silence. No coffee. No small talk. Just fear. Eleanor's will was public. Every outlet had the same highlighted paragraph. A clause stood out. Any individual who demonstrated willful disregard for human life on the day of my death shall be barred from benefiting from my work. Legal. Unbreakable. The lawyer read it twice, then a third time, as if the words might change. They can't tie it to me, Mark said. They don't know. A director slid a tablet across the table. The footage played. Rain. Glass doors. A woman reaching out. Mark stepping over her hand. The timestamp. The day Eleanor died. It's already viral, someone whispered. The world's seen it. Ellison Dynamics lost access to patents. Notifications flooded in. Licenses revoked. Contracts nullified. Supply halted. Stock collapsed. Partners withdrew. Investors sent one-line emails. We're out. Mark stood alone as a company he built disintegrated. Not because of bad business. Because of one choice. Not a bad quarter. Not a bad investment. A bad moment of humanity. Months later, Mark passed the same building. The glass doors were the same. The security cameras were the same. He wasn't. No tailored suit. No driver. Just a man walking alone in a cheap coat. There was a plaque now. Eleanor Cross, innovator. Humanitarian. Below her name, smaller letters. In memory of those who choose compassion when no one is watching. Mark stopped. He saw his reflection in the glass. Older now, hollow-eyed. He remembered her hand on the ground. Her voice. Please, I just need help. He had been given a test with no warning. He had failed it in seconds. Too late. The cost of ignoring a dying woman was everything. And every time he walked past that door, the cameras remembered what he did, even if no one else asked. Ate it out loud. If you love billionaire moral test stories, instant karma, and life-changing decisions, subscribe now. I upload daily long-form stories where one moment changes everything, and the truth always sends a bill.